What you do today is important, because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. This poignant reminder captures the essence of Memento Mori, an ancient concept urging us to reflect on life's impermanence to inspire purpose, gratitude, and intention. Rooted in Stoic philosophy, echoed by Marcus Aurelius in Meditations, and immortalized in art and culture, Memento Mori is a timeless practice that challenges us to live deliberately. Through the lens of science, philosophy, and psychology, this guide explores how reflecting on mortality can enrich our lives. From adopting daily practices and clarifying priorities to embracing impermanence in relationships and creating a lasting legacy, these lessons offer transformative tools for intentional living. Psychological theories, like terror management theory, affirm that awareness of death motivates ethical action and personal growth, while philosophers like Seneca remind us to cherish life as a fleeting gift. This journey through Memento Mori is not about fear but empowerment, an opportunity to reframe mortality as a guide for living fully. Let these reflections illuminate the path to a life of meaning, mindfulness, and profound connection. Understand the concept of Memento Mori. Memento Mori, a Latin phrase meaning remember that you must die, serves as a timeless philosophical and psychological tool urging individuals to acknowledge mortality. This concept has roots in Stoic philosophy, where figures like Marcus Aurelius in Meditations and Seneca in his letters emphasized the importance of reflecting on death not as a source of fear but as a motivator for living a meaningful life. By contemplating life's transience, one learns to prioritize values over trivialities, aligning daily actions with long-term goals. Psychological research, particularly terror management theory, provides empirical support for Memento Mori's benefits. Studies reveal that reminders of mortality can increase ethical behavior, gratitude, and focus. When people confront the reality of their limited time, they often reduce procrastination, cultivate deeper relationships, and pursue intrinsic goals such as personal growth or contributing to society. Cultural expressions also reflect the enduring relevance of Memento Mori. Medieval art and Renaissance Vanitas paintings, featuring symbols like skulls and hourglasses, visually remind viewers of life's impermanence. These works aim to inspire mindfulness about how time is spent and what legacies are left behind. In modern contexts, Memento Mori can be integrated through simple practices like journaling reflections on mortality or carrying symbolic items. The goal is not to dwell in morbidity but to foster a deep appreciation for life's fleeting beauty. Neuroscience supports this approach, showing that reflecting on mortality activates brain regions linked to self-regulation and empathy. By embracing the wisdom of Memento Mori, individuals gain clarity and purpose. The practice challenges superficial living, encouraging focus on meaningful endeavors. It transforms the inevitability of death into a guiding principle for a deliberate, fulfilling life. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. Acknowledge the science of mortality. Recognizing mortality as a biological inevitability allows individuals to face it with calm acceptance rather than fear. The scientific understanding of death, complemented by psychological insights, provides tools to cope with existential anxiety. Terror management theory, TMT, a leading psychological framework, explains that awareness of mortality salience, can motivate positive behaviors. Researchers like Sheldon Solomon and Ernest Becker highlight how contemplating death encourages ethical actions, deeper relationships, and a focus on intrinsic goals over materialistic pursuits. Physiology reminds us that death is a natural conclusion to life, integral to the cycle of existence. Neuroscience supports this perspective by showing that reflecting on mortality activates regions of the brain associated with empathy and self-awareness. This biological understanding can reduce existential dread by framing death as part of life's continuum. Philosophers and psychologists alike emphasize mortality as a motivator. Heidegger viewed the acknowledgement of death as a gateway to authentic living, while Irvin Yalom's existential therapy suggests confronting death reduces its terror and increases life satisfaction. This synergy of science and philosophy underscores the value of death reflection in cultivating purpose and resilience. Practical applications include structured mortality reflections such as writing an obituary, which shifts the abstract concept of death into tangible terms, offering clarity on priorities and values. Exposure practices, like visiting cemeteries, can normalize death and foster acceptance, supported by research on desensitization. Acknowledging mortality scientifically and psychologically transforms death from a source of anxiety into a tool for growth. Understanding death as universal and inevitable liberates individuals to live intentionally, aligning actions with core values and fostering gratitude for the time they have. By integrating science and philosophy, the reflection on mortality becomes a cornerstone for meaningful living. Adopt a daily reminder practice. A daily Memento Mori practice bridges the philosophical acknowledgement of mortality with practical, life-enhancing actions. Rooted in Stoic traditions, such practices were encouraged by philosophers like Epictetus, who advocated for constant reminders of life's fleeting nature to cultivate gratitude and focus. In modern times, psychological studies on habit formation show that integrating small, consistent rituals enhances their impact, making mortality reflection an actionable tool rather than a theoretical concept. Physical symbols, such as coins, art, or quotes, can serve as tangible reminders. The Stoics often used such items, and contemporary equivalents include Memento Mori coins or phone wallpapers with reflective messages. Each time these items are noticed, they prompt reflection on how one's time is spent. Cognitive behavioral approaches support these practices, as repeated cues help rewire thought patterns, replacing avoidance of mortality with mindful acceptance. Simple daily exercises, like journaling, can deepen this practice. Begin each morning by asking, "If today were my last, how would I live?" Alternatively, write brief evening reflections on how time was spent, evaluating whether your actions aligned with your core values. Such practices help reinforce meaningful living and reduce wasted time. Research in neuroscience shows that intentional reflection activates brain regions responsible for planning and emotional regulation, helping individuals balance productivity with mindfulness. Over time, this practice builds psychological resilience, as the regular acknowledgement of death lessens its emotional sting. Adopting a daily reminder practice not only helps internalize the lessons of Memento Mori but also instills a steady sense of purpose. By reflecting on life's brevity through actionable habits, individuals can transcend fear of death and focus on living authentically, fully engaging with the present moment. Incorporate gratitude practices. Gratitude, when combined with Memento Mori, becomes a transformative force for living intentionally. The Stoics, especially Seneca, emphasized viewing life as a temporary gift, urging individuals to appreciate its fleeting beauty. This aligns with modern psychological research, which shows that gratitude practices enhance emotional well-being, reduce stress, and foster stronger relationships. By reflecting on death, gratitude deepens as individuals recognize the impermanence of their blessings. A practical way to integrate gratitude with Memento Mori is through journaling. Each evening, list 3 things you are grateful for, considering how their transience enhances their value. For example, acknowledging the joy of a meaningful conversation or a serene moment can foster mindfulness and appreciation. Psychological studies reveal that gratitude journaling rewires neural pathways, increasing resilience and positive outlooks over time. Memento Mori amplifies gratitude's impact by adding a profound perspective. Recognizing life's brevity highlights what truly matters. Neuroscientist Alex Korb suggests that practicing gratitude activates the brain's reward centers, boosting dopamine and serotonin levels, which enhance mental health. This neurological basis underscores the value of gratitude as a daily practice for meaningful living. Symbolic actions also link gratitude with mortality awareness. For instance, writing thank you notes or expressing appreciation to loved ones can transform mundane interactions into moments of connection. These practices align with Viktor Frankl's philosophy of finding meaning through relationships and purposeful acts, even amid life's impermanence. Gratitude practices, rooted in philosophical wisdom and supported by scientific research, provide a counterbalance to life's challenges. By merging gratitude with the reflections inspired by Memento Mori, individuals can embrace a richer, more intentional existence, cherishing every fleeting moment and connection. Clarify and reaffirm life priorities. Memento Mori compels us to evaluate and align our priorities with what truly matters. The contemplation of mortality acts as a lens, stripping away distractions and trivial pursuits. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, emphasized that awareness of life's finitude inspires individuals to focus on purposeful goals rather than superficial achievements. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius reinforce this, urging reflection on whether current actions align with one's core values. To clarify priorities, start with a simple exercise. List 5 aspects of life that matter most to you. Then ask, if I had limited time, would these still hold importance? Behavioral psychology supports this process, demonstrating that identifying intrinsic goals increases satisfaction and motivation. This approach ensures that time and energy are invested meaningfully, rather than wasted on fleeting distractions. Mortality reflection further sharpens this focus. By imagining life as finite, individuals can approach each decision with intentionality. Neuroscience supports this. Studies show that contemplating limited time enhances executive function, improving decision-making and prioritization. Reflective practices, such as reviewing goals weekly or writing letters to your future self, reinforce these insights. Memento Mori also helps individuals adapt to changing circumstances. As life evolves, priorities may shift. Regularly revisiting and reaffirming them ensures they remain aligned with personal growth. Philosophers like Heidegger suggested that such adaptability fosters authentic living, as it keeps individuals attuned to their evolving purpose. Ultimately, clarifying and reaffirming priorities transforms the inevitability of death into a guide for intentional action. By focusing on what truly matters, individuals can navigate life's complexities with clarity and purpose, ensuring their actions reflect their deepest values. This alignment allows for a fulfilling, deliberate existence. Practice mindful living. Mindful living, when intertwined with Memento Mori, fosters an awareness of life's impermanence while cultivating a deep connection to the present moment. Mindfulness, the practice of fully engaging with the now, aligns with the philosophical roots of Memento Mori. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius emphasized living in accordance with nature, focusing on the moment rather than being consumed by regret or worry. This philosophy complements modern mindfulness practices, which are grounded in neuroscience and psychology. Psychological research highlights the benefits of mindfulness in reducing stress, enhancing emotional regulation, and increasing overall well-being. Reflecting on mortality deepens these effects, as it shifts the focus from distractions to meaningful experiences. Studies show that mindfulness strengthens neural connections in the prefrontal cortex, the brain area responsible for attention and self-regulation, supporting its role in intentional living. To integrate mindfulness with Memento Mori, begin with simple practices like mindful breathing. Spend 5 minutes observing your breath while reflecting on life's fleeting nature. Ask, what is truly important in this moment? Alternatively, engage in mindful observation during routine activities. Notice textures, sounds, and emotions as if experiencing them for the last time. These practices heighten awareness, connecting reflection with immediate action. Philosophers like Heidegger viewed mindfulness as essential for authentic living, suggesting that fully experiencing the present moment enriches existence. Similarly, Buddhist traditions encourage embracing impermanence as a gateway to peace and fulfillment. By merging mindfulness with mortality awareness, individuals gain clarity, gratitude, and focus. Practicing mindful living transforms Memento Mori from a theoretical concept into a daily experience. It empowers individuals to savor the present, aligning actions with values and cultivating a purposeful, intentional life amidst life's impermanence. Confront death directly. Confronting death directly is an essential step in internalizing the lessons of Memento Mori. Facing mortality without avoidance transforms fear into acceptance and fosters a greater appreciation for life. The Stoics, including Seneca, advocated for contemplating death as a means of building resilience. This practice aligns with modern psychological strategies like exposure therapy, which reduces fear by gradually confronting distressing realities. By acknowledging the universality of death, individuals can overcome existential dread and cultivate a mindset focused on purpose and presence. A practical way to begin this confrontation is by visiting a cemetery or memorial. Observing gravestones and reflecting on the brevity of life can help normalize death and shift focus to what truly matters. Another exercise involves writing your own obituary, imagining how you would like to be remembered. This process clarifies priorities and inspires immediate action toward meaningful goals. Philosophers like Heidegger describe direct engagement with mortality as a path to authentic living. He argued that avoiding thoughts of death leads to superficiality, whereas acceptance fosters a life aligned with one's deepest values. Similarly, Irvin Yalom, a leading existential psychologist, emphasized that confronting death can diminish its terror and increase life satisfaction. Science supports these insights. Studies show that mortality reflection activates brain regions responsible for self-regulation and planning, helping individuals respond to life's challenges with greater clarity. Over time, direct exposure to thoughts of death reduces its emotional intensity, transforming anxiety into motivation. By confronting death directly, individuals transcend its shadow and embrace its lessons. This courageous engagement fosters a sense of urgency to live meaningfully, ensuring that the inevitability of death becomes a source of clarity, gratitude, and intentional action. Embrace impermanence in relationships. Memento Mori offers a profound lens through which to view relationships, reminding us that the connections we cherish are temporary. This awareness compels us to appreciate and nurture our bonds, making every interaction meaningful. Philosophers like Seneca emphasize that life's fleeting nature applies not only to ourselves but also to those we love. Recognizing this can transform ordinary moments into profound experiences, deepening the quality of our relationships. Psychological studies highlight that mortality awareness enhances empathy and prioritizes interpersonal connections over material pursuits. For instance, research from terror management theory demonstrates that reminders of mortality increase acts of kindness and reduce interpersonal conflicts. By reflecting on the impermanence of loved ones, we can cultivate gratitude and strengthen emotional bonds. Practical exercises can help integrate this perspective into daily life. Writing a letter of appreciation to someone you value, expressing what they mean to you, can turn abstract gratitude into tangible action. Another exercise involves imagining each interaction as if it were the last. This thought encourages patience, attentiveness, and a focus on the present moment. Such practices help build enduring memories and meaningful connections. Cultural and artistic traditions also offer inspiration. Works like Tolstoy's The Death of Ivan Ilyich remind us that human relationships, not achievements or possessions, form the core of a meaningful life. Neuroscience further supports this, showing that nurturing close bonds activates the brain's reward centers, fostering emotional well-being and resilience. By embracing impermanence, relationships can be enriched with intention and care. Memento Mori teaches us to prioritize what truly matters: love, connection, and shared experiences. Acknowledging that time with loved ones is finite motivates us to cherish and invest in these relationships deeply. Plan for legacy. Memento Mori inspires us to consider our legacy, the lasting impact of our actions on the world and others after we are gone. Reflecting on mortality encourages alignment between daily choices and the values we wish to pass on. Philosophers like Viktor Frankl emphasize that meaning arises when we focus on contributing to something greater than ourselves, transcending individual existence. Similarly, the Stoics urged individuals to think of how their actions resonate beyond their lifetimes, fostering a life of virtue and purpose. Psychological research supports this focus. Studies on legacy motivations reveal that contemplating death often inspires altruism, pro-social behavior, and goal-directed action. Legacy thinking channels efforts into areas of meaningful contribution, such as nurturing relationships, sharing knowledge, or leaving behind creative works. These acts ensure that one's influence endures, fostering a sense of fulfillment. Practical steps can make legacy planning actionable. Begin a legacy journal, outlining the principles and values you wish to be remembered for. Reflect on questions like, what do I want others to say about me when I'm gone, and how can my current actions align with this vision? Translate these reflections into concrete goals, whether mentoring others, participating in community service, or creating art or writings that embody your beliefs. Cultural traditions also illuminate the concept of legacy. For example, indigenous philosophies often emphasize stewardship of the land and intergenerational responsibility, encouraging individuals to act with the future in mind. Neuroscience reinforces the satisfaction derived from such actions, linking purpose-driven behaviors to long-term happiness and reduced anxiety about death. Planning for legacy transforms mortality into a source of inspiration. It urges individuals to focus on enduring contributions, ensuring their lives leave meaningful marks on the world. Explore artistic and cultural representations. Art and culture have long reflected humanity's fascination with mortality, offering rich insights into how societies confront the brevity of life. Memento Mori has inspired various forms of expression, from medieval Vanitas paintings to modern literature, all designed to remind viewers of life's transience. These works serve not only as aesthetic pieces but also as profound reflections on death, urging mindfulness and intentional living. In the visual arts, Vanitas paintings use symbols such as skulls, hourglasses, and withering flowers to evoke the fleeting nature of existence. These images encourage contemplation of what remains after death and challenge materialism, directing focus to enduring values like virtue and legacy. Literary works, such as Tolstoy's The Death of Ivan Ilyich, illustrate how mortality can reshape one's priorities, emphasizing the importance of authentic relationships and meaningful pursuits. Engaging with these cultural representations deepens our understanding of Memento Mori. For example, viewing a work of art that explores impermanence can prompt personal reflection on how time is spent. Similarly, studying literature that grapples with death can provide fresh perspectives on universal human concerns. Neuroscience supports this engagement, as the arts stimulate areas of the brain tied to empathy and introspection, fostering emotional connection and self-awareness. Practical exercises include journaling after experiencing a piece of Memento Mori-inspired art or writing your reflections after reading literature that addresses mortality. Creating your own artistic representation, be it a poem, drawing, or essay, can further personalize these lessons, solidifying their impact on your life. Exploring artistic and cultural representations of Memento Mori transforms abstract concepts into relatable experiences. By engaging with these expressions, individuals can deepen their appreciation for life's impermanence and cultivate more intentional, meaningful living. Revisit and reflect regularly. Memento Mori is not a one-time exercise but an ongoing practice requiring regular revisitation to remain impactful. Life circumstances, priorities, and understanding of mortality evolve over time, making periodic reflection essential to maintain clarity and alignment with personal values. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, emphasized the importance of constant self-examination, encouraging individuals to reassess their actions and thoughts in light of life's impermanence. Regular reflection allows individuals to recalibrate their lives as they grow and change. Philosophically, Heidegger argued that confronting mortality leads to authenticity, a state achievable only through ongoing engagement with one's finite existence. Psychologically, reflection reinforces neural pathways associated with self-awareness and decision-making, ensuring the lessons of Memento Mori remain integrated into daily life. Practical exercises make revisiting this practice accessible. Set aside time monthly to journal answers to reflective questions like, am I living in alignment with what truly matters? And if I knew my time was limited, would I change anything? Such prompts anchor awareness of mortality while providing actionable insights. Incorporating anniversaries or milestones, such as birthdays, as opportunities for deeper contemplation can further enrich the practice. Additionally, revisiting earlier reflections, like a legacy journal or gratitude list, provides perspective on growth and evolving priorities. This review highlights progress and underscores areas requiring attention, ensuring sustained alignment with core values. Neuroscience confirms the value of such practices, as regular self-assessment strengthens emotional regulation and purposeful living. By revisiting Memento Mori regularly, individuals remain grounded in its teachings, allowing the concept to guide them through life's transitions. This practice transforms mortality awareness into a dynamic tool for continuous growth, ensuring that life is lived intentionally, authentically, and meaningfully. Copyright 2024 by AudioBooksTube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel growth. New videos on a daily basis.